Hey, what's up guys? It's Master95 and today I'm going to be bringing you a video on how to prepare for the Destinies the Taken King. As we all know, this comes out on September 15th, so this is less than a month away, about 3 to 4 weeks away. So you're going to want to do some things to prepare, and I'm going to tell you what those things are, and I'm going to tell you what also not to do to prepare for the Taken King, as well as a strategy for once the DLC drops in order to maximize your level, as to the best of my knowledge at this point. Again, Bungie hasn't released all the information, so this strategy might change, but as of right now, this is the strategy that you should use. So we'll go ahead and start off with what you should do in preparation for the Taken King. You should stock up on weapon parts. You should stock up on Motes of Light, stock up on strange coins, stock up on materials. All those things you should stock up on. The Motes of Light can be gained from the Prison of Elders, easily. The strange coins can be gotten from the weekly strikes. And materials can be bought with your crucible or vendor marks. Now, the next thing is you want to spend all of your Vanguard and Crucible marks, because these marks will be changed to legendary marks once the DLC drops, and everyone is going to start from fresh. So you don't want to lose your your Vanguard and Crucible marks when they change over to the legendary marks. So my recommendation is if you want to, I would maximize your materials, because you're going to want to upgrade all this new gear, all the new weapons. So you want to get stuff like Relic Iron, Spirit Bloom, etc., Spin Metal, all that kind of stuff. Buy that with your marks, unless you really want to get some other like legendary weapons or armor. Then go ahead and get that, but I caution you against that because they're going to be year 1 legendary armor and weapons, and they will not be that great once the new DLC drops. The next thing is, if you want to stock up on packages, so these can be faction packages like Future War Cult, Dead Orbit, and New Monarchy. They can also stock up on Vanguard, Crucible, Cryptarch, and Public Event packages. Public Event packages are 5,000 experience each once you open them. So those are something you need to stock up on, because the packages do not, like engrams are specific to the DLC. So if you get them now, they're going to be, they're not going to give you the Taken King weapons and armor. But if you were to get packages, they are rolled with the number generator at the time and in the DLC that they are opened. So stock up on those. The other thing to be doing is bounties. Make sure to be upgrading your exotics, and another way is that if you get a lot of bounties, you're ranking up whatever faction you're with, you're going to get more packages that way as well. So keep running those bounties. There's a couple exotics that will not carry over into year 1 that have been confirmed. We don't know the whole entire list, so just pay attention to that and only upgrade the exotics that will be carried over into year 2 from year 1. For example, Galahorn is not going to be transferred over into year 2. It's going to stay at the year 1 power level, and then that would be kind of pointless to waste your materials on. And to waste your bounties, your experience on. So upgrade the exotics. Don't worry about your legendaries, because, like I said, they're going to be less worth it in the DLC, because they're going to stay at the year 1 levels. Next is that you want to store 10 completed 5,000 experience bounties prior to the DLC dropping. So you want to go ahead and complete them, but don't turn them in. You want to have them available once the DLC drops, and I'll go into more detail why you want that later. Another thing is if you can, get Focus Light. Focus Light is available from the Red Bull Destiny codes. Not everyone has access to get that, or not everyone has the extra cash to spend. But if you can, it's going to be very helpful once the DLC drops, because it will give you that boost in experience. Next, you want to max all your characters at level 34 if you don't have them already. 334s is preferable. If you don't have like a third character, or for example, or that third character is level 6 or something like that, leave it that way, because there's going to be a new consumable that will make you level 25, and it's a one-time use thing when the DLC drops. So don't waste your time grinding that character up. But say if you're like level 30 or 32, you might want to spend the time to get them to level 34, because those characters that are 34 will stay at level 34 once the DLC drops. Next is you want to max out all your subclasses. I played with a couple people this week that did not have their subclasses maxed out. Like, they didn't have their defender on their Titan, they didn't have their striker or whatever, or they didn't have the blade dancer. You want to max out those secondary subclasses prior to the DLC, because you want to be able to focus on the new subclasses that are coming out. Next thing, it's just going to be helpful. I mean, it's not necessary. It's not like something that you absolutely have to do, but it's just going to be very helpful. So spend the time working on that, which is going to work with the bounties when you turn in those bounties. Next, max out your Glimmer. You're going to want to buy a whole bunch of stuff once the DLC comes out. You're going to upgrade. You're going to do all this stuff with Glimmer, and they're not increasing the cap. It's going to be 25,000 shared amongst all your characters. So make sure to max out your Glimmer. Next, if you can, this is just a side note, make the console upgrade if you're still on a 360. Personally, I still am, and I'm considering making the console upgrade because the DLCs and the game prices is at the best price available right now. It's at $60 for all 3 DLCs, and it's also for the game, and it's just a great, if you can, make the console upgrade. It's pretty cheap. Next, I'm going to go on to my don't list. Don't dismantle your legendary weapons from year 1. Even if you have a very cruddy weapon, do not dismantle it, because once the DLC drops, they will grant weapon parts that you'll get right now. Some will grant motes, and then also it's guaranteed to drop legendary marks for you, and you're going to want those legendary marks. So go ahead and save them. Put them in your vault. Put them on your characters. Whatever you have to do. Next, don't spend your resources upgrading legendary weapons and armor. I kind of touched on this earlier, but they're not going to matter in the new DLC. They're going to be at the lower level. So don't spend the resources. Save the resources or spend it on the exotics. Next, don't spend resources upgrading duplicate exotics, because with the new we don't know what exotics are going to be able to be transferred into year 2, so you don't want to be doing it on exotics that aren't going to be transferred, which we don't know yet. And also, you can also get duplicate exotics with the new system. You can buy them from the from inside the tower where they're going to be having the new exotics. Next, don't spend your resources rerolling weapons, weapon parts, and motes. Motes especially are going to be awesome. They're going to be needed, and you're going to want to have them. So don't spend it rerolling weapons, because rerolling weapons, reforging, in other words, that's going to be a thing of year 1. It's not going to be year 2. So you're not going to want to, because those weapons are going to be useless. So in summary, if you're low on time and you want to just focus on what you need to get done in the week, this is the best things that you can be doing to prepare, besides the obvious, like maxing out your characters, maxing out the subclasses. These are the best things if you have 334s and you just need to, you have very limited time, and this is what you need to get done. So you need to get done the Nightfalls, obviously, because you're going to get that weekly experience bonus that's going to transfer into your bounties and everything you do. Next, the Nightfalls, you can get exotics, you also get the strange coin chance, and you can also get the legendary weapons that'll transfer to legendary marks later. So Nightfalls, get those done first and foremost. Next, keep running those bounties. I recommend the Petra's Wolf bounties. Those are pretty fast to get done, and they also have relatively high experience. So go ahead and run those. The Vanguard bounties as well. Only run the Vanguard bounties that are about 5,000, because the 2,500 usually aren't worth it. Never run like the complete 10 bounties in a day or 6 patrol missions. Those take too much time. They are not worth your time. So do the Vanguard bounties. Vanguard bounties are typically faster than Crucible bounties. So run those. But what I like to do is, if I don't have a lot of time during a day, I'll just log on and grab the 5,000 experience bounties, and then stack them throughout the week, so at the end of the week I will have, say, 10 5,000 Vanguard experience bounties that are quick and stackable and easy to run, the mission bounties in particular. Next, run the Prison of Elders if you can. That Prison of Elders is guaranteed to get motes and a strange coin drop at the end from the little chest, so you want to go ahead and run that. Next, the Prison of Elders can give you legendary weapons, and it can also grant you the Glimmer consumables, which will be helpful that you can store in your vault, because you store those in your vault, and when you use all your Glimmer, once the DLC drops, you can turn those in and get 5,000, 2,500 Glimmer. You want to be running the weekly strikes as well. The weekly strikes will give you strange coins guaranteed. Make sure you're running on that max level if you can, because you're going to get 9 per. It'll also grant you some engrams that can give you some weapon parts and also some armor parts. So, the strategy that I'm going to talk to you real quick about is, as of right now, once the DLC drops, this is why I'm saying that you need to do all this. Because once the DLC drops, you're going to turn in your packages. You're going to dismantle your old unwanted legendaries, because then you get your legendary marks. You purchase the new weapons from the vendors with the legendary marks. Then you pledge your faction allegiance, and all this with Focus Light. And then you're getting more experience that way. And then you turn in those 10 bounties that you have for 5,000 experience. You're going to be leveling up your weapons. You're going to be leveling up your character. And so that's going to be, very helpful. Then you're going to start the campaign at a higher level by doing this with better weapons. Next, then you want to, keep using your Focus Lights as you run the quest line. This isn't mandatory. If you don't have Focus Light, that's fine. This method's still gonna give you advantage. But if you have Focus Light, it's gonna give you better advantage. So, and they get this process. You just wash, rinse, and repeat. Really, that's all you have to do. So, again, I hope this video was helpful. I was just, as I was thinking with all the new information that Bungie has released, I was thinking really, what do we need to focus on as player base to get us really prepared for this and to maximize our time on the game right now, because a lot of the stuff will not carry over into a year two, and what will help us be better prepared to make our life easier once we get into year two. So these are some things that I noticed and I wanted to share with you guys. So if it was helpful, please let me know. Let me know in the comments. If you can think of anything else you want to share with people that'll help them out, go ahead and leave that in the comments as well. And go ahead and subscribe if you want more videos. Catch you guys later.